I just want to point out that these two people, the reporter and the cop, are both extreme professionals, veterans that have been doing their job for years and years and years. The cop leads off with, oh, we have this question and this question and this question, and the fucking reporter doesn't ask any of those questions. Why were the people getting pulled over? How can she not ask? How at this point do we not know why they were getting pulled over? How is that possible? You have video of what happened. You have audio recordings of what happened. You know, you have 4 police officers that you've interviewed. What, did they're just all lying to you that you don't know what happened, why they pulled you over? Okay, and basically both of these people just talk gibberish the whole time. They just talk around stuff. They're not giving any answers to anything or asking any real questions. And trying to keep it real short. And it's, as a reporter, as a journalist, when you have the chance to ask these questions and you don't do it, and the reason you don't do it is to protect the piece of shit cops, the predator cops that are killing little children, that makes you culpable. You piece of garbage Presstitute are protecting child killers by not asking hard-hitting questions. That's who all you Presstitutes are when you have the chance, and you don't hit the cops with the hard questions. You don't hit the war profiteers with the hard questions. You're protecting predators of little children, predators who kill little children. That's who you Presstitutes are. So we're clear. Thanks for tuning in. My name's Mike. This is Mox News. I'll talk with you soon.
All right, our other top story that we're updating right now in Louisiana. The investigation is widening into the tragic death of a 6-year-old boy killed during a harrowing police pursuit. Jeremy Mardis was shot 5 times in the head and chest as his father's vehicle was being chased by 2 officers Tuesday night in the town of Marksville. While the circumstances behind the shooting are still not known, the reaction from the head of the Louisiana State Police is very telling.
We took some of the body cameras footage. Let me tell you something. I'm not going to talk about it, but I'm going to tell you this. It is the most disturbing thing I've seen. And I will leave it at that.
Most disturbing thing that the colonel has seen, and this little boy, a 6-year-old, we have since learned he was autistic. He was in the front seat with his dad. Still unclear when the father was behind the wheel and driving, why 2 police officers were in pursuit of him. Still unclear why the 2 police officers did unload and fire at the vehicle. The little boy was hit at least 5 times. The father, as we understand, is still being hospitalized. His condition has been upgraded from critical to serious. There are people in that community who are expressing their concern. They have their prayers for the family. This is one woman who knew that little boy, Jeremy.
We just brought this cute bear, puppy dog, and we from the Autism Network, because when a child in our community, needs something, we're there for them.
You guys are there for them. What goes through your heart, your mind when you look at this? For Jeremy.
I'm just know he's watching over everybody. He always was an angel.
He was an angel from people there in the community who were just heartbroken that the 6-year-old boy was caught in this crossfire while in the vehicle with his dad. We understand that he is the youngest person to be killed in a police-involved shooting this year. We know that 2 police officers have been arrested, the 2 officers involved. We also know, we heard this from the colonel of the state police a few days ago. These are the 2 police officers who are now facing charges resulting in the death of the little boy. We heard from the colonel who had said that there was one of the officers on the scene who also had a body cam. Let's talk more now with the colonel from the Louisiana State Police. Michael Edmondson is actually with us now out of Marksville, Louisiana. As you're going to see in this shot, he's also still being wired up and mic'd up so that we can have this conversation. Still so many questions. Colonel, thank you so much for being with us. So many questions about what happened here. And we realize that the investigation is ongoing. Two officers who are now facing charges that resulted in the death of this 6-year-old. But you were clearly very disturbed by what happened. You were willing to already say, you know, in front of cameras that this was one of the most disturbing things that you've ever said. Why is it you were willing to say that, but you're still very tight-lipped about other circumstances about this investigation at that time?
Well, you're exactly right. You know, as a father, I've been a police officer for 35 years, but as a father, much less head of the state police, it was a disturbing video that I watched, and that really helped move us forward. But I think what's most important too is very compelling, because here's the deal: I've got to deal in facts. What's important to me is what caused those police officers to pursue Mr. Few. What caused them to open fire at that traffic stop itself? Because here's the deal. All that aside, you know, Jeremy Mort is 6 years old, is dead, and we need to find out why. Why would that many gunfire to take place? Mr. Few didn't have a gun. He didn't return fire. There was no warrants, so that's important to us. But I've got to deal in facts. There's a lot of rumors going around. I've got to deal in facts as to what actually caused that. That's what's important to me. But when I saw that tape, I knew that we had to move forward on this deal, but again, and I told my officers, nothing is more important than the integrity of this case. You know, the public allows us to wear this badge right here, and they expect us, they demand us that we do the right thing. So we've got to deal with facts, we've got to deal with applicable state laws, and we've got to deal with exactly what we can find out. Forensics tells us a lot of things. The evidence there at the scene, the 911 calls, interviews, all the type of protocols that come with the investigation, that's all important. But what was compelling of that tape right there is we've got to get to the fact, because that little boy died. I mean, there was rumors that he was riding around standing up. I saw that tape. He was buckled up in that vehicle, and he died right there in that seat. And you know what? He didn't deserve to die like that. We need to find out why.
And Colonel, clearly very disturbing. You saw the videotape from the body camera. You just described a very disturbing, but still unclear, the why they pursued the father and why they opened fire. But then, not knowing those things, there was a very quick arrest of those two officers and charging them in the deaths of this child. That is very unusual. Why was that step taken? What is different about this case than, say, other police-involved shootings, when an arrest of an officer either doesn't come at all or comes very, you know, many days or even weeks after an investigation is able to be completed? What's different here?
I think what's important here is the facts were there. The compellingness of that tape was simply there. The forensics at the scene itself was simply there. The information we received on all accounts, it was important for us to bring that evidence, to bring that information to a judge, put it down on a piece of paper, let him see that video, and then have him sign that arrest warrant. I think that's important there. And when we know those types of things, then you know what? We should move quickly. When you know those things, and when we can take that information, we can take that evidence, and we can apply it to fact, you've got to move forward on something like that. You should never sit on it. So certainly the decision was made to let the judge look at that, to see that information, and once we saw it was quite clear and quite compelling, those arrests were made. But this case is far from over. It's still moving parts, still stuff out there that we need to follow up on. Could there be more arrests? That's always a possibility. Could it take us somewhere else? Absolutely. But you know what? This community right here, my grandmother was born and raised here. My blood is in this community. So let me tell you something. I want to make sure that we can bring some closure here. This is a good community. This is good people. They don't deserve this. But you know what? We've got to put some closure to this. We've got to close this case. So how quickly we moved is based on evidence and based on facts. It was clearly there, and that's what put us where we are today.
And Colonel, you just said there were things that you don't know, things that you still do not know. But what are the things, after looking at the tape, after seeing the crime scene, you just said, we know certain things. We know those things. What were those things?
Well, we certainly know, we believe from what we saw from the footage and our investigation is those shots should not have been fired, not at that particular time. So other things have just come together that's put us to where we are today. We don't believe there was a warrant that precipitated that stop, so we need to put together what we do know and find out why. But we're comfortable where we are right now. We're ready to go into the courtroom tomorrow at the 72-hour hearing and present any evidence that might be there. Of course, the case report, from where it stands right now, the arrest warrant itself, that'll be up to the judge to look at. They'll set some type of bond. That'll take place tomorrow. So we'll see what happens at that particular point. We know that. But here's what's most important. It's not over. There's still moving parts. There's still stuff that we're following up on. But clearly, what we do know right now is those two charges that are on both those individuals. Mm-hmm. We had enough information at that point. We had enough evidence to place those charges, and the judge signed it.
Mm-hmm. And I think you've expressed quite clearly how it impacts you as the head of that police department and even as a father. But is there a way in which you can describe what this has perhaps done or is doing to a community, close-knit community? You just mentioned your family members still there. This is a very small, close-knit community where police officers are friends with people that they serve there. But what has this incident done to that relationship between police there and the community that it serves?
Look, I just talked to the Chief Smith just a little while ago. I know him. He's a good man. He's got a good department. Like I've had to arrest my own officers before. That's just the unfortunate side of it. But I think the integrity of this badge, look, the public, they allow us the privilege to wear this badge. It's not a right. So certainly when that badge is tarnished, we've got to move quick on it. That's my belief as superintendent. You've got to move quick on something like that. And that's certainly what we've done right here. But this is a good community. That's a good police department. They will get through this. They will grow from this. We just all got to get better at what we do. And I think that we show the public when we do stuff like that, you know, we're not just trying to take care of our own. We're trying to take care of a situation. We look beyond who it is. We look at what happened. And those that did those things have got to be held accountable no matter who they are.
Colonel Michael Edmondson, thank you so much for being with us. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
And we'll be right back.
I'm the leading state sponsor of terrorism.